Ladies and gentlemen, my name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and today we're going to be going over my guide to jungling Sniper. Sniper is an okay jungler, I guess. With this guide, if all goes according to plan, we're going to have a, well, does go according to plan because I just recorded it, but we're going to have a Midas sub 8 minutes. Really, we're going to be shooting for about a 7-minute and 30-second Midas on top of Iron Talon. We probably won't eat the Fairy Fire that's in our inventory. We probably won't drop the Iron Branch either, and we will have the that thing that builds in a Desolator. I can't think of the name of it. It's in my queue right now. It's the 300 minus 2 armor aura effect item. That's just awesome. So probably gonna build into a Desolator at some point later on. That being said, it's only a 300 gold commitment, so not that big of a deal. So we are gonna cut these trees over by this medium camp first, and this will allow us to basically do damage as much as we want without getting hit. We're going to wait a second here and stack. You can stack pretty reliably with Sniper when you're jungling him, but one thing, it's not the most important thing to always hit your stacks, but you absolutely need to hit your first stack on this medium camp, and you want to cover that camp in at least one use of your shrapnel. So after doing this, I'm going to go over and I'm going to high ground jungle the nearby hard camp. So double check to make sure that nothing fell through the cracks there. I'm going to Iron Talon the big one. Usually in a situation like this, I will target the little satyr down first because he's the only one that will ever have the potential to right-click me. But I'm going to target the big one when I go to the hard camp because I want to reduce that regeneration. I want to get rid of that regeneration aura as soon as I can. So clear this camp. Now I'm actually going to level ground jungle these guys. So I'm going to hold out on grabbing the bounty rune because the bounty rune will actually become slightly more valuable as the game progresses. That's just how bounty runes work. And there was no rush for me right there. I'm gonna go over here and try to jungle the small camp while I wait for the other camps to respawn. This can be rather inefficient because the way this cliff's set up, and because these little creeps actually have decent range. So I'll do a little bit of damage and go back over. If it were a different camp, it might have been okay. However, the little goblin dudes that throw the poison spears, they also have pretty solid range. So the easy camp is actually not that easy for Sniper because they can hit you back, versus most camps just can't. But hey, I needed something to do for a second. I didn't want to walk all the way over to the other hard camp because my movement speed is not the best and I'm not buying movement speed items just yet. So gonna go ahead and rinse and repeat over here, and then I'm gonna move down and kill this camp again. Basically, you know, it's kind of repetitive just because you kill things rather slowly and you don't really take a lot of damage because you're cliff jungling. This is also really convenient because if someone comes to gank you in the jungle, you can just leave most of the time if it's just one person because you'll be at high health. If you have a shrapnel charge, then you'll also be slowing him down, and that reminds me, we should probably talk a little bit about skill build. So once you have 3 points in shrapnel, it's insane. It destroys creeps so quickly. I generally just max it first anyway because I'm already going to have so many points into it. You kind of want to use it sparingly. I used to jungle with a clarity on me, but I realized very quickly that I didn't need the clarity because you're limited by the cooldown, not the amount of mana that you have. You can get Assassinate level 6. I typically get a point in my take aim so that I have a little bit more wiggle room when jungling. I didn't attack that hard camp there because I would have had to kite it constantly, which kiting is not that bad, but it is more work and it is slightly less efficient than just cliff jungling, so I just left that there. You can actually cliff jungle that camp if you want, but you have to destroy a lot of trees, and since you have a 4-second cooldown on your Iron Talon, or 19 seconds if you use it on a creep, then you don't really want to do that all the time. So I'm actually pausing on my jungling that camp for a time to go grab this bounty rune and then grab it a second time because it was about to respawn. I'm going to go ahead and Iron Talon the big wolf, throw down shrapnel, and continually shoot at these wolves. And actually just leave. I could have left a few seconds earlier actually because the shrapnel DPS at level 3 is just crazy. So again, at level 5, I'm not going to grab the ultimate here, but in a real game I probably would, just because his ultimate is pretty good, and it doesn't scale very well at all, because it's just flat magic damage nuke. So you can kind of cliff jungle almost any camp if you prep it correctly, which means going there and taking the time to cut the trees. And I actually am re-recording this guide because I had a nearly finished version of this guide ready to go on YouTube, but it was 7.04, and I actually bought a second quelling blade so that I wouldn't have shared cooldown times for cutting down trees, and so that I get additional +7 damage toward creeps. But that has been fixed now, so we're not watching that guide. So about to hit the Midas here. I actually don't even notice that I hit the Midas gold. So I'm 20 gold away right now, and we're at 740, so pretty darn decent. We're gonna be sub 8 minutes, but again, you can do it a little bit. You can be a little bit more efficient. But I hope this guide helps you out. My name is eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me. Have a wonderful day. Please hit that subscribe button if you like this video, and peace.